I've been painting miniatures for a little over 20 years now. I started when I was about 16 when I discovered the game Warhammer 40,000, and I saw all the really nicely painted miniatures in their magazines and in their books. Of course, that makes me want to try to emulate them. When I started, I used the wrong tools, the wrong brushes, the wrong paints. At that point, it was just about getting color on the model and making sure it was all covered. But as the years have gone by, I've learned more and more techniques that have let me learn how to highlight things to give more depth to the model. There are several techniques you can use to do this, but the easiest one, and the one that I still use to this day on my rank and file models, is called dry brushing. And that's the process of taking your paintbrush, loading it up with paint, and then brushing it lightly across the paper towel until nearly all the paint is gone, and then lightly rubbing it back and forth across the model so that the raised edges on the model will pick up the color. This creates a highlight along those edges. You can later go back with a wash, which is a watered down pigment that falls into the recesses of a darker color to give you more shading. So you've got shading and highlighting. Fairly fast process that lets you get a lot of models done. When you consider that most armies run between 50 and over 100 models, time can be a factor. But when you're dealing with some of your centerpiece models, like your hero characters, or your vehicles, or your monsters, you might want to take a little more time. In those cases, I do layering, which is the process of starting with a dark color, and then painting all but the most recessed areas by hand in a slightly lighter color, and then taking a lighter color and painting on top of that, but leaving a little bit of a darker color over and over again, until you get a built-up highlight. So it looks a little more natural. It's nicer looking than dry brushing, but it takes a great deal more time. So those are just a few of the techniques that I've learned over the years in painting miniatures.